Hello and welcome back to Nisha's Niche, where in this episode I will be rock painting with glow-in-the-dark paint. And I've not done this sort of thing before. I mean, I've painted obviously, but I've not painted on rocks, not used glow-in-the-dark paint. Let's get to it. I opted for the balanced cats because that needed less stuff. The book also contained handy tips and tricks. One of them was be patient, which I'm not. You get 4 very smooth rocks, one of them being very small for some reason, 4 paints, black, blue, yellow and white, and then of course the glow-in-the-dark paint. It also came with 1 paintbrush and a wooden stick pretty much, which I discovered it was for dots. I also add in my own cocktail sticks, which you will discover later on in the video that I completely forget exist. I also found this needle thing and a bobby pin, which I thought I could use for any finer details or dots. I grab a glass of water, or a jar in this case, because that would be very handy. The book also recommended I get a pencil and a rubber, and while I'm there, why not include felt tip pens, because you never know. So now I have everything I need. Let's get down to business. The first thing that the book told me I had to do was draw a circle, and it did recommend a compass. I didn't have one. So as you can see in that top left hand corner, it's wanting a circle within a circle, and I decided to skip that bit because the rock I have is quite small, so if I had an even smaller circle, the cats would be quite squished, I think. So yeah, I decided to skip that bit and keep it more simple by just having the base circle. I swear to God I keep doing this. I actually broken lead in this pencil. That's like the 3rd one I've done. So for a second here I forgot how to paint. That sounds daft, but I couldn't remember like if I had to wet the paintbrush first or if I had to go in dry. Wait, no, that sounds weird. So I compromised by dipping it in the water and then drying it off. It had advised in the book that I wait 5 to 15 minutes for the paint to dry. So yeah, I had to entertain myself for a little bit. Did anyone else ever do that with their hands? Like make some weird dog creature out of sheer boredom, or was it just me? So, roughly about a minute after waiting for the paint to dry, I couldn't take it anymore, so I did a big brain move and whipped out the hairdryer to speed up the process. Yes, I am wearing a woolly hat indoors. Don't judge. It's cold. It's England. Expensive. After applying the 3rd coat of paint, I thought, yeah, that's enough. And I actually let this one dry naturally, so I had a 15-minute break, so that when I came back, I could start the drawing process. And it's only when I got to the 2nd cattail that I realised the paint still wasn't dry, so out came the trusty hand dryer. Hand dryer? Hair dryer again. So this bit, as you could probably tell from my hesitation, I was very tentative about drawing it because it had to be somewhat symmetrical. And that's such a hard thing to do. Like, as I discussed in my drawing video like 2 weeks ago, when I was drawing Vegeta. I don't know if it's difficult because I'm not a great artist or if it's something that everyone struggles with. But yeah, I'm just so glad that I could use a rubber on the paint. Because I needed it. As you can see, like... I remember at the time I was doing this, I wasn't happy with the outcome, but looking back, they are pretty cute. I am so perfectionisty with my work that if it's not perfect, which it isn't going to be, I don't want to say throw a tantrum, I just want to give up. It makes me want to give up. When it comes to painting, I find it quite therapeutic, quite relaxing, quite satisfying, until you get to moments like this, when you've only got one size paintbrush. Although in the book it's like, oh, use a fine, small paintbrush. It's like, I don't have one. You didn't supply me with one. I'm obviously doing this whole painting with one brush. So yeah, I found these bits very fiddly and felt very on edge. So yeah, painting is very relaxing. Very relaxing. But yeah, despite the fiddliness, I was actually enjoying myself. I'd happily do this again. So yeah, that's what it is looking like so far. Not bad. And we're back to the fiddly bits.
Fiddle-dee-dee.
Especially the whiskers. Like, honestly, whiskers seem to be the bane of my life at the minute. If I'm not struggling painting them, I'm struggling with them in Photoshop. So bloody thin. So I whipped out that needle thing. I thought, yeah, this will definitely work. This is genius. Genius. But no, look how thick that is. Then I remembered I had a fine point pen. But then I realised it was broken. So what about the other side? Had a test run. Yeah, it seemed pretty good. Thought, yeah, this is going to be the winner. This is definitely going to be the winner. And I hated it. I don't know why. Looking at it now, again in hindsight, it looks fine. I tried to make it better by going back over it and made it worse. So I left it for future Nisha to deal with and decided to do the other cat. But then it hit me that I had to paint the whiskers on this side with no guide. Looking at the picture in the book though, their whiskers aren't perfect. So why am I worrying? Why am I worrying? Future Nisha decided the best thing to do is paint over the whiskers and make a mess. And then go back over them with paint and make a mess. But we got there eventually. Finally did some whiskers I was content with. Moving on to applying the glow-in-the-dark paint. Now, I've never used this sort of paint before, so it'll be interesting. Ugh. But this was simple enough. It was basically apply the paint to all the white areas. Once it had dried, use a bright light to charge it up. So I did the thing of going into the pantry where it is very dark and full of spiders to see if it worked. And you can't see it on camera. Great. But it worked when I took a photo. Yeah, very, very happy with that. Here it is again, up close, finished, in daylight. Well, I'd say daylight, kitchen light. So originally I was going to get a felt tip pen and do an outline for the circle, but changed my mind because I was scared of ruining it. So yeah. As always, thank you to the patrons for supporting this content. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts. If you would like to join Patreon, the link is in the description. And if you join the $2 tier or above, you get to influence this sort of content. So if you're interested, please check it out and hope to catch you in the next one.
Thank you for watching whatever video this is, and thank you to our lovely patrons. Without you, we couldn't keep making content. Why am I saying it like this?
You sound like some game announcer.
And also a big thank you to our VIPs. Speaking of game shows, have you seen that one hosted by Sloan Rockefeller called J-Grid?
Yes, because my friend Aaron Glosson went on it the other day, actually.
How did they do?
They lost to Patrick Hennigar.
I can't believe that. I once went on a game show and my opponents were Nesta Ailman and Sam Bartram, and Sam Bartram kicked my fucking arse. You should just see the next name in the list.
Is it because you really struggled on that difficult round called Smitty Waver Jagerman Jensen? He was #1? Number 1?
Well done. Yes, that was the reason, but it was also because I'd been practicing the day before with Brina Lawless and just couldn't pick up what I was supposed to do.
Well, I'll tell you what game I think you'd really be good at. That one is a new on ITV. It's called Xanomaly.
Ah, yeah. I remember that one. It's the one that's on straight after Denny Speaks, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the famous host G.
G, I love G. G, the only other thing I've seen G in was Cowtessa.
Wait, is that a game show or a program? What is that?
You just want me to do the next one, don't you?
Wait. Oh no, that's such a cool name.
Well, I've stolen it. It's a TV program starring the legendary Duke Schnooklies as Darth Turkey 28.
Oh, I think I've heard about that one with the supervillain Nyx.
Yes, Nyx was from that famous comic book line called Bubba P.
Written by Chibisa Matiware.
Classic.
I'm trying.
And I think the artist was Amy Brundridge. Some of these are easy, I just can't read them. Amy Brundridge was the artist there. They also worked with Matt Gilbert on that famous comic book line Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, I think that's the sequel to Michelle Holloman, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, I love that. I really wish they'd bring that back, but I think they're now working on Rael E. Walters instead.
Oh, I can't wait. Whee!
We're so good at this.
Yes, thank you. Again.
Cheers, patrons.
Thanks.
Sorry about the butchering of the names.
Yes, please let us know how to pronounce them.
I'd love it if G came in and was like,